9:02 this morning. And we will now move to Noelin Yazas, or I'm sorry, Alicia Puentes, who's gonna proceed with the roll call.
Thank you, Laura. Senators, if you could please indicate that you're here in the chat. Noelin Lazos, Laura Ramos, Claudia Morrison, Alberto Adame, Karen Dorado, Rogelio Chanes, Kevin Garza, Karina Herrera, Nicole English, Nayeli Garcia, Ashley Mercado, Juan Santos Flores, Maria Serna, Orlando Castaneda, Tammy Munoz, Veronica Villarreal, Armando Garza, Marissa Camperano, Kelly Quinn, Millie Resendez, Cordelia Rasa, Teresa Villarreal, Irene Cardenas, Andres Chavez, Yadira Mejia, Caitlin Bruseth. Thank you, Senators. Madam President, quorum has been established.
Thank you so much, Madam Secretary. Hello, everyone. On behalf of the Staff Senate, thank you for joining us this morning. If you can, I highly encourage you to please turn on your camera so we can see your beautiful faces. And also, I apologize if you keep hearing that dinging sound. It's a setting and I thought I had turned it off, but I am so sorry. It's there, but it's our colleagues joining us, so that makes me happy. It is always a delight to see you all, and it brings me great joy to be here to preside over our meeting this morning. Let's get started with our first order of business, approval of our August 2021 meeting minutes. Madam Secretary.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to move that we table the approval of the minutes until our November meeting.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
I second.
Who was it that second? I'm sorry.
I think both Laura and I did.
Okay. All right, any debate or discussion? Any debate or discussion? Any debate or discussion? All those in favor say aye or raise your hand, staff senators, or type it in the chat.
Aye.
Aye.
All those who oppose say nay. Unanimously passed. Thank you so much, Madam Secretary. Before we bring on our guest speakers, I have 3 important updates to share. One of the main tasks as staff senators is to advocate and represent each one of you in the different committees that are formed currently or the existing ones within the university campus. I am proud to report that Staff Senator Rogelio Chanes will be serving on the Parking and Transportation Committee. So if you have any concerns or suggestions regarding parking and or transportation, please feel free to reach out to Rogelio, as he will be your voice on this. And I know he's here, so I believe he'll be typing in his email address in the chat box, and that way you know how to get a hold of him. Secondly, I'm not sure if you were aware that October 2nd was National Custodian Appreciation Day. As we all know, our building attendants play a very important role in keeping our offices and the entire campus community clean and a safe space to work in. Obviously, we missed the day, but the sentiment remains. With that, I'd like to call on everyone and challenge you to show your appreciation to our building attendants throughout this entire month of October. You can use the Bravo Vaqueros tool to express your gratitude and share it with the rest of the campus community. And if you share anything on social media, please tag us, as we'd love to see you appreciating our building attendance. And of course, a simple thank you is more than enough. Last but not least, it's no secret that ideally by this time, Staff Senate would have its new staff senators with a new executive board team in place and a new staff Senate president, although I am certainly not complaining. A few weeks ago, you received an email about elections. As my term expires this year and I am eligible to be on the ballot, I've excluded myself in the election process as to not raise any conflicts of interest. So now I will turn it over to our Election and Constitution Committee Chair, Ms. Caitlin Brissett, to fill us in on the status of this year's Staff Senate elections.
Thank you, Madam President, and good morning, everybody. We want to thank everyone who participated in Staff Senate elections, including the nomination and voting processes. We want to especially thank those who were proactive in letting us know if there were any issues that needed to be addressed. As we have all seen and experienced, UTRGV continues to grow to better serve our students. This means that we, as staff, have the opportunity to expand our teams and knowledge. With the recent changes in our divisions, we realized that there were inconsistencies in this year's elections. After careful review, the Elections and Constitution Committee has decided that to be fairer and more inclusive, it is best to run this year's elections again. Please stay tuned for an email providing updates on this year's elections. Thank you, current Elections and Constitution Committee members, for your assistance and guidance. And thank you to all again for your continued support and patience as we strive to best serve our fellow UTRGV staff members.
Thank you, Madam Committee Chair. And I want to thank also our Madam Vice President, Yadira Mejia, and to the rest of the team for the work that you have done and continue to do to ensure that fair and accurate representation is being served. Mostly everyone in this room can agree that this issue is not new, as we seem to keep running into it every time we conduct elections. As Caitlin indicated, UTRGV keeps growing, we are progressing, and with that comes changes that I'd like to allude to as growing pains. I realize this and my fellow staff senators acknowledge this. However, it would be nice to run elections smoothly, and I may have found a way. I would like to call on a task force to re-examine the Staff Senate's elections process. Given the changes that our organization goes through and will continue to do, the task force will assess if the current process is the best way to base representation on. Perhaps we can look at the districts according to the job function that each unit does, and then maybe it really would not matter what division it falls under. If deemed necessary, the task force will come up with a new process to ensure a fair and accurate representation on the Staff Senate. So why a task force? Because this means that anyone can be a part of it. That is, you don't need to be elected on the Staff Senate or be a staff senator to be on this task force. So I am asking for your help in making sure that we have fair representation and finding the remedy to run an efficient election process within the Staff Senate. You can reach out directly to me or email us at staffsenate@utrgv.edu. I greatly appreciate y'all's patience, your understanding, and your support as we continue to work through this year's election. Moving on to the next item on our agenda, we've invited our first guest this morning as an answer to a call that we received during our August meeting. If you recall, we had our awesome student union team present to us about the happenings within that area. But many were asking about the services that were provided inside the student union, such as the dining option, is Chick-fil-A open, all of that fun stuff. So we decided to bring to you the subject matter expert on all things auxiliary business services. Mr. Roberto Cantu, thank you so much for accepting our invitation and joining us this morning. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. We are honored to be presenting this morning to the Staff Senate. I'd like to share a little background. Today marks 7 years since Dr. Guy Bailey presented to a joint meeting of the UT Brownsville and UTPA Staff Senates. During that meeting, he went ahead and underscored the importance that staff members play with the success of any institution of higher education. So he made a commitment to Staff Senate, to the staff members that were there. A vast majority of the employees did get jobs with UT RGV. It's an exciting time. And, you know, staff, we're the ones that do the heavy lifting. We do that way our leaders can run. And we're very proud to be members of the university community. And with that, I'd like to share my screen. We have a quick PowerPoint presentation. I'd like to cover a few things.
You should be able to share your screen.
There it is. Can you all see that?
Yes.
Thank you. So thanks once again. I'd like to do a brief overview of our operations. Let's see here. I'd like to start with our mission statement. Who are we? Auxiliary Services, you know, Auxiliary Business Services. We report to Campus Auxiliary Services. Our Associate Vice President is Ms. Leti Benavides, and our Senior Vice President of Finance and Planning is Mr. Mike Mueller. Our mission statement is we support the university's academic and administrative goals by providing essential auxiliary services through collaborative efforts, partnerships that enhance the academic experience, contribute to student success, and provide financial support to the campus departments and overall benefit to the broader university community. As far as our business portfolio, a lot of you all know print services. Our supervisor there is Mr. Julio Rodriguez. Business and administrative services is run by Ms. Melissa Ramirez. The V1 card office and systems management, that's run by Mr. Homer Villalobos. Campus stores, we've got Brownsville, we've got the general manager, Ms. Joanna Garza in Brownsville and Ms. Priscilla Leja in Edinburgh. Dining services, which I will get into a little bit more detail, supervised by Mr. Gilbert Garza. Vending services, Ms. Isabel Saldaña. She was pivotal in the transition to our new beverage provider this summer. And for our community garden, that's one of the operations that we also manage. Recent projects. We worked with the BIS office, Mr. Tomas Aguado and his team and several other people from that area and BIS to develop an employee voluntary deduction program. And that, you know, kind of facilitates things for employees who want to buy services on campus. And we'll go ahead and cover that a little bit later on. During the pandemic operations, we did provide support to different areas of the university. We played a supporting role in strategic enrollment, student prospect communication workflow. We worked with them to support them in sending out over 150,000 postcards to prospective students. So that was something that we worked very closely with Dara's team, and we're very happy that we were able to be on campus to do that kind of work. As far as dining services, we provided uninterrupted dining to a lot of our student residents. Many of our student residents didn't have homes to go to during the pandemic. We had some international athletes who also stayed on campus, so we did provide that service to them. We offered online V1 card issuance, and we also opened the V1 card offices for our UTRGV students and also our frontline heroes. We had obviously a lot of our ground staff who needed to report to work. Many of them did not have IDs, so we went ahead and provided IDs during that time. And an online the online option was also available to students who did not want to come to campus. We went ahead and mailed those offers. They were able to upload their pictures, and we were able to print the cards and mail them to their homes. We also printed wayfinding signage for UT Health and School of Medicine for their testing and vaccination sites. And we also printed all of the on-campus COVID-19 posters and floor decals for the return to campus. As far as our contracted services, we worked with our purchasing office, Alex Valdez and Maggie Devora, their guidance and the committee, and we awarded a 12-year contract to Pepsi Beverages. And we also opened Reserva Coffee Roasters. It's a beautiful space. It's at the School of Medicine at the Team-Based Learning Center. And we've got a slide for that also. The Summer Relief V-Bucks, that was a biggie for us. The institution in the summer of 2020 issued awards to individuals that took, or to students that took 6 hours or more in classes during both summer sessions. $150 in V-Bucks was awarded to these students. We distributed over $1.8 million in awards. We worked very closely with UMC to develop marketing campaigns, a marketing campaign to reach out to students, to remind them to spend their money. And that was a pretty large undertaking for us. And we feel that it was successful, and it helped our students in purchasing the goods and services that they needed during the pandemic. I'll focus on dining services next. As far as which restaurants are open, we've got many restaurants. We've got Chick-fil-A in Edinburg, Pizza Hut on the Brownsville and Edinburgh campuses. The Grid is open on the Brownsville campus. That's a convenience store next to the library. The convenience store also at the Student Union in Edinburgh. Subconnection in Brownsville and Edinburgh. Simply to Go at our engineering building in Edinburgh. The Grill on the Brownsville campus. Jasmine's at the library in Edinburgh. El Pato, which only opens for breakfast at this point in time, in Edinburgh at the Student Union. And we have Wild Blue. It's the modern Japanese kitchen, and they do sushi. They are on the Edinburgh campus. We also do sushi on the Brownsville campus. We sell it through at the Bynab building through a kind of a modern vending machine that sells fresh food to our students. And lastly, I want to mention Reserva Coffee Roasters is open now also at the Team-Based Learning Center. So if you all are interested in hours of operation, we've got the URL on this screen. Please feel free to go and see what is available, and see if we can serve you. Grubhub. We do have Grubhub available specifically for our venues on our campuses. You can download the app, and you need to make sure that it is the UTRGV location specifically. And you can pre-order all of your food to avoid the lines. We do have pickup lines specifically for individuals that pre-order. And we also have delivery available for those individuals who don't have time to leave their office. We can deliver anywhere on campus. This is both on the Brownsville campus and the Edinburgh campus. Dining Services has a few events in the pipeline. We've got an employee appreciation lunch at the dining hall and at El Comedor. So if you purchase a meal for yourself, you can pay half price for a colleague. You need to bring a colleague for that half price off. And that will be on Wednesday, October 20th. That's next week. We also have the Thanksgiving lunch feast at the dining hall and El Comedor. That's going to be on Thursday, November 18th. And we've got the winter celebration dining at the dining hall and at El Comedor on Wednesday, December 1st. Both Thanksgiving and the winter celebration will have holiday themed meals, turkey and ham and all of the fixings, a dessert bar and things of that nature. So, we're very much looking forward to campus opening up 100%. We welcome all of our staff members to the dining hall, to El Comedor. And we really want to see you all back on campus. We want to, we want you all to enjoy the meals that we offer on our campus. You don't have to leave campus. You don't have to mess with parking. So we do encourage you all to stay on campus whenever you can. Reserva. This is one that we worked with our purchasing office. Once again, Alex and Maggie, and they helped guide us through a contract with Reserva. We do like the idea of bringing a local business onto campus. This is something that we work closely with School of Medicine Administration. This is the type of coffee venue that they wanted at the Team-Based Learning Center. The Team-Based Learning Center is somewhere where students congregate. They use the space a lot, and also they bring the administration brings in guests to the area, and it's a really, really beautiful space. If you have not been there yet, we encourage you to try it out. They do offer curbside service, and you can order actually through sipreserva.com, and it's a really easy to navigate website, and give them a try if you're on the Edinburgh campus. Our campus stores, we do have several events coming up also at our campus store. We're going to have a faculty and staff course material adoption event. Our campus stores work really hard to get course material adoptions from faculty members. So we've teamed up, obviously, we work very closely with the Provost office. We worked as of late with Mr. Art Brownlow to ensure that we are capturing all of the information possible for our students. Affordability is something that's really important to us. The OER is something that we're helping in gathering information for the Provost office. So for faculty members that have submitted a textbook adoptions, and we also know that there's a lot of staff members out there that support faculty in submitting course material adoptions, we're going to be offering, this is going to be only in person, 30% off an entire purchase of gift or emblematic items. And this, we also think, is a way to get the UTRGV name out there. We want to support, Rally the Valley. So we think that 30% off an entire purchase is quite generous. On October 27th, the event will be in Edinburgh, and on October 28th, it'll be on the Brownsville campus. Come by and see us. We're excited about offering this. This is the first time we offer this, and we do hope that it will increase our course material adoption numbers. The campus stores will also be participating with Grad Bash, at the Grad Bash, the senior countdown, and all commencement exercises. They will be on site selling frames. Students forget their stole, or they forget their cap or their tassel. They'll be on site to be able to sell. And also our campus stores participate at all athletics home games. That's something that we're very committed to. We want to make sure that when students or our guests or any of the fans show up, that we do have emblematic spirit wear available to them to be able to continue to promote UTRGV and UTRGV athletics. See, the employee voluntary deduction plan. That's a new payment option for university services. You can buy V-Bucks, a meal plan. You can pay for childcare, a membership to UREC. Also, if you want to live on campus as an employee, you can. You can also pay for your apartment through the voluntary deduction. It's available to all full-time employees through employee self-serve in PeopleSoft. So it does offer convenience by relieving the need to make monthly payments, and funds are deducted from each paycheck automatically. Anybody has any questions, you all can reach out. If you have questions right now, we're happy to answer any questions. But you can contact us at aux@utrgv.edu. And any questions, we're happy to take questions.
There was a question on the chat, Roberto, asking about the discount. Is it only in person or does it work
It's-
online?
It's only in person.
Only in person, okay.
Yes.
And they are suggesting that it would be nice to have it online because our colleagues in Harlingen would like to take advantage of that discount as well.
If those individuals can reach out to the campus stores, we'd be more than happy to help them and make accommodations for them.
All right, thank you so much.
It's our pleasure.
Madam President, you got one more question?
I do, okay.
Oh, yes, that came in. Angie is asking the dates and times again, if you can share them, Mr. Cantu.
For the campus stores?
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. It's in Edinburgh, October 27th, and on the Brownsville campus, October 28th. And this will be at our campus stores. In Edinburgh, first floor of the library. And in Brownsville, it's across the street from the El Gran Salon.
All right, any more questions for Mr. Roberto Cantu? No? Any plans to have a store in Harlingen, even if for 1 or 2 days? I think what she means is perhaps you guys can bring some of the swag items in our Harlingen campus and set up like a pop-up shop. Is that what you're referring to, Wandy? Yes.
We don't have plans to do that now, but that's a great idea. We'd like to have a good idea of the number of individuals that are on site. We'd be happy to do that, to go and set a date where we can go and sell, our emblematic wear to our staff members
Yes.
on the Harlingen campus.
And while you're at that, they would like for you to explore the idea of setting up a cafe in Harlingen. They're going to
In
keep
the Harlingen campus, yes. That is something that we've talked about. It's been a moving target for us. I know that we were going to have the School of Medicine that was going to be moving to Harlingen a couple of years ago. So things have been back and forth in flux. Really what would dictate, how we're able to establish something like that would be the traffic count in a specific facility. What can we offer? Do we want to offer a cafe? Can it sustain a cafe? Do we want to do, one of those serenades, a Starbucks self-serve coffee machine? I know that we do have vending and beverage. That's not enough, probably for a lot of the individuals on that campus, but we would have to look closely at it, see what the traffic counts are, and then determine what would be best for to serve the population on that campus.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much again, Roberto, for being here this morning, for doing this presentation and letting us in and on your world. So thank you for what you and your team does every day to keep UTRGV running, and for keeping an open mind and being open to suggestions. And we look forward to many more great things coming out from your department.
Thank you all. We're happy to serve the staff, faculty, and our students. Obviously, we would not be here if it weren't for our students. So, they're our main customers, but definitely we are here to serve everybody on campus. Thank you so much for the time. And in the future, if we can present again, we're happy to do that.
We certainly will keep you in mind, sir. Thank
right.
you.
Thanks. Have a great day.
You too. Our next guests have had a very busy month as they've been bringing exciting news across the campus community. They've presented to our students, faculty, and I'm so pleased to have them come on board this morning so they themselves can deliver to us exciting news about the future of UTRGV. Chase and Dr. Hinojosa, I believe you guys are here. Thank you for being here. The floor is yours.
Well, good morning. It's great to see everybody on the call this morning. I'll pitch it to Dr. Hinojosa as we get started. But As you reflect back, I think the last time I had the opportunity to visit with Staff Senate was in January. And boy, has a lot happened since then. So look forward to visiting with our staff today and sharing some really good information.
Thanks, everybody, for spending this time with us this morning, giving us this opportunity, as Chase has mentioned. And I don't know about y'all, but Robert just made me very hungry. I'm ready for turkey and ham and dressing. Thanks a lot, Robert. Excited for the holidays to come and being able to take part, and so thankful that you all are going to give us the opportunity to have that kind of food on both our campuses and hopefully in Harlingen as well. I know you all know this, but I really like saying this. I can't imagine working anywhere else. You know, for those of us who have been through such transitions and just been able to see us grow and where we are today, those opportunities just don't happen. And it's something that we've been able to experience, and we're not done yet. And this is an opportunity for our students to be able to experience a unique process that doesn't happen often. In fact, at UTRGV, we've never gone through a referendum process, and it's been years that a referendum was done at either of our legacy institutions. So it's truly an exciting time to be at UTRGV, and especially to be a student. And I know that some of you are also students, and so we appreciate the time and being able to talk a little bit more in detail about the referendum itself and the process. So Chase will go into a few more details.
All right. Can everybody see the slides? Is that showing up correctly? Great. So a lot of this won't be new, and we'll move through this information fairly quickly, and certainly want to save time for questions and answers and any comments at the end. But this referendum is very comprehensive. And I think it's fitting that Robert was on the call today as we talk about the ripple effect. You know, there are 4 specific programs that are included in this referendum, and the fee itself will support these 4 programs. But the ripple effect, and we'll talk about that in a minute, is substantial through all aspects of our community, campus community life. But the proposal includes 4 programs, starting with marching bands and spirit programs. Obviously, we have a phenomenal pet band on our campus. We've got very, very strong and nationally recognized cheer and dance programs, but we want to expand that, and we want to give opportunities for all of our students throughout the Rio Grande Valley, and create a marching band that would support our institution, not just through athletic events, but community events and things that we can engage in different ways with the Rio Grande Valley. From the athletics perspective, we would add women's swimming and diving. This is a really strong sport at the youth and high school level here in the Valley. This would give us the opportunity to attract approximately 40 new female student athletes to our campus. And it's a very, very strong program within the Western Athletic Conference. And then there's football, Division I FCS football. This is a big piece of this proposal, obviously. Gives us a chance to bring Division I football to the Rio Grande Valley, and certainly would strengthen our position within the Western Athletic Conference. We talk a lot about this, not just as an athletics department, but as an institution. How can we rally the Valley? And athletics can play a role in that. This referendum and the programs that this would support can play a role in that. But here, what's highlighted is our commitment to doing things both in Hidalgo and Cameron County. You can see the pictures here, HEB Park starting there. We're in early discussions with HEB Park as far as playing our football home games. That's where we would play when we play here in the Upper Valley. The other stadium is in Brownsville, Sam's Memorial Stadium. It seats about 10,000 seats, so does HEB Park. And again, our commitment to spreading athletics throughout both counties. Women's swimming and diving really has a unique opportunity to compete at a first-class facility. The city of FAR and UTRGV nearly 2 years ago, forged a partnership on this facility. I've had a chance to tour it, and those of you that drive by it on the expressway, we've had a chance to watch it come up over the last 12 or 15 months. This facility will be completed here in the next month or two. And this is where our women's swimming and diving program would have the ability to train and to compete. And the facility itself is just perfect for hosting meets as well as conference championships. The community impact is great. There was an economic study done a couple of years ago. We have refreshed the economic study over the last month or two. And as you can see here, the numbers speak for itself. It's going to have an impact. These programs will have an impact on the Rio Grande Valley in both counties, whether it be jobs, the total economic impact, taxes, obviously, that come in as a revenue source to our communities. The impact is great on our community. But what we want to focus on now is taking more of a micro approach and looking how it's going to impact UTRGV and our campus community.
So we know that just right off the top, right, with the addition of the athletic programs and the expansion of our music and spirit programs, we know that we're going to create at minimum 500 new opportunities for student involvement, which is significant, right? One of the questions we tend to get is, well, I don't attend athletic events, right? So, you know, why should I support that something like this? I think this slide really says it all, because it's not just about athletics. It's about what this will do for our entire community, our UTRGV community. When you are adding additional students, there's a ripple effect, right, to enrollment, to student employment, to dining services, to alumni. Think about if you're alums from other institutions and what you get to experience when you go back. Our students at UTRGV really deserve those same experiences. And so this is an opportunity beyond going to a football game, right? It's about what we can see on all our campuses, the expansion on all our campuses, and this commitment to student life. Our students deserve to have opportunities outside of the classroom to have a vibrant and engaging campus community. And so that's why this impact is important to be viewed on from the big picture perspective and not just what the fee addresses. And so you all know I'm the enrollment person, right? And so I would be remiss if we didn't talk about it from an enrollment perspective. It's I don't want to say it's automatic, right? But there's a lot to be said when you're impacting campus life, right? And it begins to have this ripple effect on enrollment. Off the top, we know we're going to have an increase in enrollment because of the additional programs. It's very interesting and pains me when we hear that students don't want to come to UTRGV because we don't offer the same opportunities. They want to experience, they want to be part of a marching band at another institution. And so we're losing students because we're not offering these types of programs. And so we know that with that will come an increase in enrollment. You all are all beneficiaries of what happens when you have an increase in enrollment. There's increase in funding. That funding does not go to athletics. Tuition dollars don't go that way. They go back into our academics and our departments, right? And so again, it's extremely important to think about not just the impact of the fee for particular programs, but how it will impact our entire institution. So now the details. The referendum is for an $11.25 increase to the current athletic fee. Now, we're asked from time to time, why don't we just say it's $135? Well, that's because that's not necessarily an accurate statement. It is for some students, but not for all. And so this is per credit hour. And we know, especially some of you are graduate students, right? And you don't take 12 hours, you take less. We also have our a tuition cap, right, on 12 hours. So a student who's taking 15 or 18 hours only pays at 12 hours. But what's the other thing that we have that we have a tendency to forget about? And I think we do a good job of reminding our incoming students, but not always that consistent reminder with our continuing students or even ourselves, right? And that's that we have, and I'm gonna say it, the best tuition guarantee program in the state of Texas. All other guarantee programs, I challenge you, go look at them. They are an opt-in. A student has to make a choice as to whether they want to opt in or not. And the fact of the matter is that many students don't even know that, and many students don't take that choice. We automatically opt the student in when they start with us. And so our students are guaranteed their tuition, and mandatory fees do not change for 4 years at the undergrad level and 4 years at the grad level. And AOP is a little bit different, our accelerated online programs, because those are flat rates. So they're a little bit different, but they're still not seeing this impact. It doesn't impact that, those particular programs. And so there's this huge misconception from our students, especially our current students, that they're going to be impacted by this fee. If it passes and then passes the additional steps with the UT system, it would go into play fall of 2022. But our current students would not pay that in fall of 2022. So we've worked really hard with marketing to kind of show this graphical representation, because as great as our tuition guarantee program is, it's hard to explain it. And so what we've done is just put an example up there. For a student who started with us in fall of 20, right? If this fee increase passes, they would not pay the fee increase until fall of 2025, which we really are hoping, and I know hope is not a strategy, so that's why we're all here, because we try to get them to surpass that, right? Which is to graduate. So hopefully they're graduated by then. The ones who are impacted are new students coming in. Now, with that said, anytime we're looking at a fee increase or a tuition increase or whatever sort of monetary impact there is to our students, we go back and look, what do our financial aid dollars look like, right? How does this look like from the monetary perspective? And so some data to share with you all is that 44% of all our students, undergrads and grads, pay absolutely no out-of-pocket costs. And of those receiving financial aid, 51% don't pay out-of-pocket costs. This increase would allow these numbers to stay. Now, you all know, right? We all want to be number one in everything, right? Except here, this particular slide. We are okay being number 8. And so what you're looking at is the commitment that we are making as an institution to, although we're requesting a particular fee increase, we are still committed to having some of the lowest tuition and mandatory fees in this state, keeping that lowest student debt. This particular data was just recently released by the UT system. It provides the total average academic cost for all our institutions in the system. Look at where we are, number 8, and that's okay. The net academic cost is what's important. That's what students actually pay, okay, after their financial aid. This doesn't include loans. This is only gift aid. Look at the difference. And that goes back to that out of pocket. So our students in general, their net academic cost is what, almost $3,000 less than most of the institutions in the UT system. And then a lot less than UTSA, UT Austin, Arlington, and Dallas. And so our commitment is that we stay at this number 8 ranking. We continue to advocate for the increase in Pell Grants. I don't know if y'all heard that the Secretary of Education was in the Rio Grande Valley last week, met with some of our students. If you haven't seen it, there's, I'm not exactly sure where it is, but we could get it to you all. There's a video of that conversation, and the topic of Pell Grants and the importance of Pell Grants came up, and our students did a fabulous job. And so we continue to advocate for that because it looks like there will be an increase at the federal level. If you haven't heard, we are increasing UT RGV Advantage for the fall of 2022 from $95,000 income to $100,000 income. And of course, student involvement is extremely important, to us. And this is an opportunity in which our students' voice makes a huge difference in this decision.
As we shift and look at the student impact, this really stood out to me. So this is our percentage of our graduates that stay in the Rio Grande Valley after they leave our campus with their degree. Nearly 80% of our graduates will stay here in the Rio Grande Valley. And as we talk to our current students and in making it clear, one, they will not likely pay this fee. This will not impact them. However, as proud alums, they get to be a part of the fruits of what we're talking about today. And so 80% of the graduates will be able to see the pageantry, the spirit, and be part of the growth of our institution as citizens of the Valley. About 20% of our students leave the Rio Grande Valley. And as we look at enhancing our campus life and bringing greater brand recognition to our institution, we feel like this proposal will do that. And so as our students are outside the Valley, whether they're within the state of Texas, regionally, or the country, the name recognition that UTRGV will continue to build as we bring on these programs will help them in their job searches. It'll help them as employers are studying their resume. And so we feel like it speaks to both those students that will stay here in the Valley, as well as those that will leave the Valley and pursue other things. Program sustainability is something that we're asked a lot about, and we thought this was a good way to capture how will we sustain these programs for many years to come. The student fee is very important. That is an important piece of this, very similar to other institutions that have started programs like this, very similar to other Division I institutions throughout the state of Texas, but it's not the only piece of the puzzle. You can see there on the right, the healthy pressure on athletics to produce athletic external revenues. And we feel very confident that this will come as we bring on these programs, starting with ticket sales, our corporate partnerships and sponsorships, philanthropy, private support from donors and investors within the community, game guarantees, as our football team would play other schools throughout the state or the country. There's a financial benefit to that. That's a significant revenue source. And then, of course, merchandise sales. And again, going back to Robert's presentation, our partnership with all of our campus partners, in particular, Follett and our bookstore, we suspect that we would see a tremendous increase in merchandise sales. The other piece is the NCAA distribution. We are projecting that as we bring on 2 more sports and increase our student athlete cohort, there's incentives and a financial benefit as far as the distribution goes for not just the NCAA, but also the Western Athletic Conference. And so this is not solely on our students' backs. There are other pieces of the puzzle that will make and help keep these programs not just sustainable, but very, very successful and competitive. This is something we shared with our students earlier this week, and we'll do again this afternoon with our town hall in Brownsville. We really wanted to highlight some of the myths and the facts that we've been hearing as we visited with various student groups, faculty, and staff. And so we'll work through these pretty quickly. Tuition allocated to fund academics will be redirected to athletics. That is a myth, and we talked about this earlier. Tuition dollars cannot be used to fund intercollegiate athletics. That is a state law, obviously something we abide by and have always abided by, but it will not take away from tuition dollars that are invested in our academic programs. As a current student, my tuition and mandatory fees will increase. That's a myth. We think that chart that we showed you just a couple of minutes ago really explains that this is not going to impact our current students. And with our guarantee program, that makes that a myth. Financial aid dollars will be redirected to athletics. That is a myth. And just on Tuesday afternoon, we announced the Luminary Scholars Program and the private support from Mackenzie Scott and that gift. That will continue. Our continued investment in scholarships and financial aid, private support for our students. As we talk about that $917, $918 figure being the lowest in the UT system, I truly believe that even with the increase in the athletics fee, all of the new scholarship programs we're bringing on, the enhancing of the UTRGV tuition advantage, it will more than mitigate, including Pell Grant, it will more than mitigate any increase to the fee that we're requesting. Football will negatively impact UTRGV funding. That is a myth. And I think it really quite the contrary. I think it's going to have a positive impact on so many areas outside of just the Department of Athletics, Student Affairs, or the School of Music. Our student athletes and these students that are looking for that traditional experience, they'll live on campus. Our enrollment will increase. The support of our auxiliary services will continue to increase. Engagement with our alumni, private support from the community, and not just focused on supporting the programs we're talking about today, but truly across campus, across the university. I don't think it will have a negative impact. I think it will have a tremendously positive impact on our funding in the future.
Now go back and think about the prior slide, that drop of water with that ripple effect. And that's a fact, right? The increase in this fee is so much more than those 4 particular programs. It will positively impact our student life. It will impact all of us in what we do in our departments. The voice of the student and their vote is a fact that it matters. And we all know that there's apathy, right? That revolves any sort of vote, whether it's a national election or whatever the case is, right? And because people don't think their vote matters. It really does. It is a fact. The student voice is extremely important. This can be done without significantly impacting student costs. That's a fact. You all saw not only what it's going to cost, but the things that we're doing to mitigate some of those costs. The other thing, don't forget, there was an announcement last week of $1 million donation. There was an announcement this week of $1 million donation. People are looking at us. They look at our institution. They like what we're doing. They like what we're seeing. But most importantly, They are investing in the future of this institution and not just who we are, but who we can become. And that investment allows us to keep those student costs low. And then finally, the fee, you know, there's always this kind of myth, right? That the fee's only going to go to athletics. It will not. The fee will support our expanded spirit and marching band programs across the Rio Grande Valley.
And so where we sit today, we're 25, 26 days from the start of the student vote. So November 8th through 10th is when our students will have an opportunity to vote. And Dr. Hinojosa mentioned this earlier. I know that I know several on this call that are taking graduate courses, and the vote will happen both electronically plus polling stations on both campuses. And so I encourage you to vote between November 8th and 10th. If the vote is positive and the vote comes back in support of this referendum, we will take that to the UT System Board of Regents in February for their final approval before moving forward. On the right side of the screen lays out the tentative timeline. It takes time to do these things the right way. There's a lot of work that will go into this. Dr. Hinojosa talked about the student voice as we shape these programs and really work with our campus to make sure we're going to do it the right way and have successful programs. But starting in fall of 24, you have the expanded Spirit programs. Those obviously exist today, but we look to have them fully expanded by the fall of 24. And all that would also be the first year of women's swimming and diving. That's a winter sport that would start competition in probably October, early November of 24. And then in fall of 2025, which is the 10th anniversary of UTRGV, having our marching bands ready to go for the first football season. And then just really think about how exciting it could be to have Division I football in the Rio Grande Valley and kick off in late August, early September, albeit it would need to be a 7 o'clock kickoff for a little bit cooler weather. But our first season for Division I FCS college football in fall of 2025. We have a great website that we really have been working on the last 6-7 weeks. And it's really a living document. As we meet with different groups and we hear from our students, we wanted this website, rallythevalley.com, to capture as many FAQs, as much information, a lot of what we shared with you today. But we encourage you to visit and encourage students to visit. There's a place that they can sign up for additional information. And so please visit rallythevalley.com. And if you see something that's not addressed or a question that you have that we didn't answer, please let us know and we'll make sure we get it updated. So we can turn it over now. I know there may be a couple of questions and we'd love to hear from the Senate.
Chase, there is a question already on the recruitment of athletes, local recruitment of athletes.
Yeah, great question. So currently, so we've got 16 sports and very proud of our 16 current sports. About 27% of our current student athletes are from the Rio Grande Valley today. And that's a really strong number for us. Over half of our student athletes from the state of Texas, but over a quarter of them from the Rio Grande Valley. That would stay. That is our commitment. When we recruit prospective student athletes, we always start at home. We always look local first. And so our goal would remain the same. Recruit the Rio Grande Valley first and then work our way out from there. A great question. And I think you would continue to see that strong number in these two new programs that we would add.
Any more questions?
So Karen has a question about what can we as staff senators and staff do to support efforts. Listening to these kinds of presentations, going to the rallythevalley.com and becoming informed is what I'm trying to say, so that as you hear comments from your colleagues or especially students, right, to be able to accurately, because that's what this is about. It's about giving factual information, right? And so to be able to accurately respond and encourage our students to vote. And so we could use all the help that we can get to try to get as many people out there to vote, but that they vote with accurate information. That way, when they're making their decision, regardless of what that decision is, they're doing it with facts and not myths.
Thank you, Dr. Hinojosa.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's another question, and Dylan, I agree. I think a fajita cook-off the first season would be outstanding. But there's a question on what if our students were to vote no? It would be hard to move forward with this proposal if our students voted no. The Board of Regents are going to be very interested to see the numbers and to hear the voice of the students. And so the student vote is so critical. And that's part of what Dr. Hinojosa and I, and asking for your help, is to help our students realize this is such a unique opportunity and not to sit on the sidelines, not let this just kind of pass by November 8th through the 10th. It could be many, many years before we have the opportunity to go back to our students with a vote like this. And I think that was shaped earlier with Dr. Hinojosa explaining it's been a long time between our legacy institutions included that we've been able to have a student referendum. And so it's a big moment for us, and the student support to move forward will be key.
Yep, and the fact is we can't increase a fee like this at this level without a referendum. It is required.
Right. Well, if you look through the chat, Karen did share the YouTube or the video link where our students had that roundtable discussion with the secretary and our congressman. I believe Ms. Veronica Gonzalez is here with us this morning and put in some very important facts on the chat as well. So thank you so much, ma'am, for being here with us. Any more questions, comments? Thank you so much, Chase. Thank you so much, Dr. Hinojosa. And, we are behind you, and we will support and advocate and make sure that our students are correctly informed about this referendum.
Thank you so much. Ease up, everybody.
Ease up. Y'all have a great week.
Thank you. Our next guest speaker is no stranger to the Staff Senate, and perhaps to many of us, as he was our past Staff Senate president. Now he serves as chair of the Employee Advisory Council, that is the Staff Senate at the system level. I've asked him to join us this morning to provide us updates on what is happening at the system level. Peter James, thank you so much for accepting my invitation and for being here with us this morning.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Good morning, everybody. So, of course, I'm Peter James Ahimika. I'm with Student Success, and I also serve as our chair for the University of Texas System Employee Advisory Council. And so I'm here to just provide some updates. We had our first EAC meeting this past last Friday in October, whatever that day was, October 7th. And so I have a newsletter that I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you all can look at it along with me. All right, so let's start from the beginning. I'm gonna make this just a bit smaller. All right, so are we good? We can see the screen pretty well? Sounds great. So I'm gonna just speak to a couple of the points here on our newsletter, some items that we discussed at the meeting, what's happening at the system level, and what work we're doing toward the Board of Regents ask in November. Okay, so we got a pretty good update about what's going on in the University of Texas system, and we were happy to see that a lot of the work that's being done within system really well aligns with the work that we're doing on Employee Advisory Council. So system is really interested in looking at the importance of, or really identifying what are the pain points at all of our various institutions. What is it that this institution is facing versus the other institution? And how do we bring those to light? So that's a very important thing that the system is looking at this year. They're also heavily focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion work. So ensuring that all the institutions at UT System have that work going on. Mentoring and coaching is also a major focus with UT System, and as well as modernization of education. So they have a UT System internship program, and that internship program happens every summer, and they have students throughout the UT System institutions participate in this. When time comes for that, for students to start applying, I'm going to bring that here again and, charge you all, not just staff senators, but everybody who's listening right now, staff members, to take that to your students, take that to your student employees, take that to the people who you know, and ask them to apply for that. It's a fantastic opportunity for students to be embedded within the infrastructure and what's going on at the system level, to be placed in various locations throughout Austin or throughout wherever it is. Sometimes they have it virtually, sometimes they have it in Austin, but it's really a fantastic opportunity. I won't go into too much depth with it right now, but when that comes up, I will be bringing it back to y'all. So we had a really fantastic speaker, Mr. Emil Kreisel, and he came and spoke to us. He's at UT Austin, and he works with learning and development. And he really just spoke with us about the importance of communication and project management. It was very timely. This is a new group that's coming together. There are some members on the committee who have been there prior, and there are some new members who just kind of rolled on. So we learned about, facilitating different ideas and how to move things forward and how to just really take things off the ground. Again, timely information for our presentation at the Board of Regents in this upcoming November. So this isn't very clearly stated on this newsletter, but I just want to ensure, I know that we see that there are different subcommittees that we all work on within the EAC. And I just want to kind of walk through them again so that you all know what's going on and you're pretty up to speed with what the different institutions are working on right now in regard to these various committees. So with diversity, equity, and inclusion, the call to action for the Board of Regents, which is the ask that we'll be requesting this upcoming November, will be the implementation of a diversity toolkit of best practices. So that's already been very well delineated by this committee. And the idea is that that gets shared out on our EAC website. And that's something that our different institutions within UT System can use to impact the DEI work that's going on at our various institutions. We also are asking for a system statement on diversity, equity, and inclusion. So the importance of that is we know that the University of Texas system stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion, but it is also very important that that's written out somewhere. And so this is something that the system has worked on. This is something that's not new, but it's just a request to ensure that that's established so that it's very, very clear for anybody who looks on our UT System website that this is what the system stands for. We're also seeking an ask to implement a diversity day, and that diversity day, if implemented and approved by the Board of Regents, would be something that all of our institutions celebrate. So it wouldn't just be here at UT RGV, it would be in UT San Antonio, UT El Paso, UT Medical Branch, etc. It would be established by UT System, and it would be for everybody. So the next one, campus, I think I skipped, campus safety. Let me go back. So campus safety, we've kind of rebranded campus safety, of course, as campus safety, emergency preparedness, and resilience to really just stay in line with what's happening at the system level. So our call to action is going to be for the UT System to conduct a third-party safety audits at all of our institutions. So that's very important. It takes funding to be able to do something like that. Right. So in the event that the Board of Regents says, this is something that we're able to do, we're going to be very excited about that. Our other call to action or ask is for the update or annual updating of emergency preparedness plans. That way, we're always a little bit more prepared. Disaster preparedness is something that, every institution works on, but just the annual updating of these plans is going to be very important across the different institutions. So we might look and say, oh, well, UT RGV already does this. Why is it that that's being asked? But we have to remember that there are, 13 different institutions within the UT system, and we all do things very differently. So with this, it just kind of brings a little bit more standardization to some of the work that we do and some of the efforts that we employ. The last one for campus safety is establishment of a civility policy at all institutions. Of course, that's going to look different. For some, it'll be a code of conduct. For some, it'll be a policy about civility and collegiality, but it'll all center around the concept of civility and ensuring that we're creating very respectful workplaces, that we are, practicing what it is that we preach and what it is that we show on our websites, so that when people come to work at our institutions, the cultures at the institution are things that will call people over, so that's just very important for us. It means a lot to some of the members, even personally. So we're very excited about that call to action. So for telecommuting and future work, there will not be a call to action there. This committee is primarily working on, delineating some best practices, writing out what's going to be really helpful for different institutions. Many of them are coming back to work in person. Some of them are still kind of remote, right? So we're all in different places. So this is really an institution by institution thing. So we won't be asking, the Board of Regents about this, but we will be sharing those best practices with one another. So then that way we can share the wealth and share the information that we're receiving and that we're coming up with. And, no institution has to focus, on doing things just by themselves. Lastly, we spoke a little bit about mentoring and coaching earlier. I brought it up in the context of UT System and how they are so interested in the mentoring and coaching work. The chancellor found this when he came to speak to us during the during the summer semester. He found this very important and spoke to the importance of, mentoring relationships. And if you've not had those mentoring relationships, you should absolutely get into one of those mentoring relationships, whether it's you being mentored or you mentoring somebody else. And something that was really important that the chancellor mentioned was how a mentoring relationship is not just impactful for the person who's being mentored, but it is also impactful for the person who's doing the mentoring. And so, of course, those of y'all who have mentored people, you know that it's fulfilling, not just for them, it is fulfilling for you as well. So our call to action with the Mentoring and Coaching Committee, the mentoring roadmap has already been put together, which is very much in line with something that's already being worked on at the system level. And it's just providing best practices and guidance for different institutions to implement staff and faculty mentoring programs so that new employees who come to the institution are able to be mentored and to be paired with somebody who can provide them with some guidance and just not, it'll really help with their transition to the institution. And this would help with, our institution and all the other institutions as well. So those are just some quick updates. As I mentioned earlier, the Board of Regents meeting will be November 17th through 18th. It's going to be in person in Austin. We're excited. The executive committee, 3 of us will be there, and I'll be presenting over these various asks and just talking about what our committee is doing. You all, I hope that over here at UTRGV that you all will tune in and that you all will be just kind of wishing us luck as we go out there and we ask for these. All of the work that we're doing right now, it's really to support staff, faculty, students, and the campus community. So we're looking at this as a whole. Many of our institutions have patients as well, and that's something that we're also thinking about. So it's very, very comprehensive. We are here to represent and advocate for the best interests of employees at the institution. And that also means we have to be mindful about every domino that's being knocked over. So it doesn't just, our focus as much as our focus is on staff, we are also very inclusive of work being done to support faculty members, students, and the campus communities. So I'm not sure if any of y'all have any questions. I'll open the floor for that right now. Okay, no questions. I'm going to go ahead and turn the floor back to President Noellen. Thank you very much.
So much, PJ, and congratulations once again on your new role. And thank you for representing us so well. And we look forward to more great things coming out of the EAC under your leadership.
Thank you very much.
So right now we're going to move on to our committee and task force reports. I would like to call on the floor our committee chair for staff success, Ms. Claudia Dole Morrison. I think she's here. Yeah. The floor is yours, ma'am. Make sure you unmute. I know she's here. Where'd she go?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, there she
Thank
goes.
you, Noeli. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. Our Staff Success Committee had the opportunity to collaborate with the marketing and the UTRGV Day. It was a great opportunity to see our colleagues and faculty, staff, and students back in campus. Besides the collaborations, the collaboration in this important event, we wanted to, as a staff senate, we want the staff senate to have presence in this event. So employees can be aware of who we are, how they can reach out to us, and also for any communications where to contact us. We want to say thanks to procurement and also to the research division for collaborating with us on giving us some promo items for that special event. We also want to thank everybody who participate and collaborate to put this event together. And also special thanks for our staff senators who participated with this activity. I had a little video of the pictures we took during that day. As you can see, there are so many happy faces and people excited to be back in campus. I hope I can be able to share the video with all of you, if you allow me.
You should have sharing access. Yes.
And let me know if
Go ahead.
I hope you have the opportunity to watch the video. I hope it was not any issues with the audio. Were you able to watch the video?
Yes.
Okay, great. Again, thank you to the marketing department for allowing us to be present in this important event. We want to continue having this opportunity for the following years. It was great to be there, great to see the faces of our staff, faculty, and students, and welcoming everybody back in campus. Thank you for this opportunity again, and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Claudia. And don't forget to stop sharing your screen.
Of course.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everybody. So the floor, it's already open for public questions or comments. So please go ahead to share anything that you would like to address. The floor is already open for public comments and questions.
I just want to extend a kind reminder about the feedback form that we have available on our Staff Senate website. I will drop the link into the chat. So this is again a form that our staff can use to provide your feedback or ideas regarding UTRGV resources, processes, initiatives that promote staff success in the workplace. So if you have any ideas, solutions, conversations that you'd like to have, please reach out to us via the form, or you can always reach out via email to staffsenate@utrgv.edu, or you can reach out to any of your staff senators. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Faye from University Recreation, and I just want to invite everybody for our event tonight at our campus in Edinburgh. We have Pound for Pink. We're raising awareness for breast cancer, and the event is open to the entire UTRGV community. So I invite everybody to come along. I am dropping the flyer on the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know. We're going to have some goodies, some free t-shirts and bags and snacks. Thank you.
And that's from 6 to 8 this evening, Faye?
That's correct. It's from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the main gym at University Recreation in Edinburgh. If you are unable to join us in person, we will also have a Zoom link available for those of you that are in the other campuses, and I'll drop the link in there as well.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and call on and put her on the spot, our partners in our UTPD department. Amanda, I know October is such a very busy month with a lot of good causes and awareness. And I know her area is doing something very important. Amanda, can you go ahead and fill us in?
Hey, Noel, I knew you were going to call me out.
Of course.
Yes, no, thank you so much. So just really quickly, October the 19th at the Student Union, the PD Victim Services and the PD, along with OVAP, Counseling Center, the Health Clinic, and Title IX will be doing a small resource fair for domestic violence awareness. And also on October the 20th, we've been doing the water cooler conversations, the video casts. So we're going to be meeting with the DV unit director from Cameron County, Art Villarreal, and then also with the victims coordinator, victims advocate from Cameron County as well for water coolers. So it'd be great if you all would join us. And then at the end of the month, through the OVAP office as well, and with the collaboration with the PD and other departments, they'll be hosting the CAVE conference. So I know I've sent you those links and those flyers, Noellen, so I know you've been sharing them, so thank you. And I think Priscilla was actually gonna upload them into the chat. So the 19th at the Student Union in Edinburgh, we are trying to figure out a date for the Brownsville campus, that we're currently in the process of that. Then the 20th, our water cooler for Cameron County for DV month. And then at the end of the month, to close it out for DV month, will be the CAVE conference.
And also, I'm going to add on to Amanda,
Yes.
sorry, y'all.
No, go.
Also, we are also doing a virtual awareness
Yes.
campaign. I've uploaded the flyer on there if y'all want to print that out or edit however y'all like, just encouraging words that we like to share with everybody who has going through or has gone through something of domestic or dating violence for this month.
Oh.
And next Thursday, the 21st, is Purple Day. So I know at the PD yesterday, I was trying to get some photos of some of the officers. So if y'all would do that, that would be great.
So purple, we wear purple.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Of course, as an ally and a Dream Zone advocate, I would be remiss if I do not call on the person that keeps me competent in those roles. And I know he also has a busy month, being it LGBTQIA plus awareness, and we just had National Coming Out Day. So Aaron, can you go ahead and fill us in on what you're doing and your area is doing this month and how we can participate?
Oh my goodness. Hi, thank you, Noelyn. Yes, a few things going on. One is today we're having Get Lit, BYOB. Relax, everyone. It's Bring Your Own Book. It's a book club that we are planning with the University Library. Today's theme is LGBTQI plus history. So you basically bring your own book and talk about why you enjoy it. And if you, all readers are welcome. So if you want to know what other people are reading, join us. Upcoming sessions are like military and veterans. We'll be doing women's history, Black history, and others. So also to support our DACA students, we're going to be hosting All In for Dreamers. So if you want to send into legislators support, let me know and I can send you the invites on how to do that. So yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Anybody else?
Madam President, we had a comment in the box. Let me go back and look for it. Mr. Lozano asked on would time off during spring break considered in the new future? Mr. Lozano, I want to let you know that Staff Senate does work in collaboration with HR in creating our holiday schedule. This year was a little bit different than what we've been able to do in the past. Last FY year, you notice we got that Friday off because it was something that staff very much concerned with that day. This year, we weren't allotted the same time frame because if you've noticed on the calendar, the 24th and the 31st fall on a Saturday, and so therefore we couldn't. So the allotment dates were a little bit different. Moving forward, again, we'll get with HR next summer, right? 2022. I can't believe that's where we're already going. And we again will look at the various options of what we can elude. But as Karen mentioned, you are welcome to submit that feedback to us so that we can keep that in mind when we reconvene with HR on the calendar next summer. And then Nicole was just mentioning Nicole was just mentioning campus climate. I don't know if you want to talk about it a bit, Nicole. I'm going to be Llewellyn and call people out. And then I think the weather day may be a good excuse. We'll keep that in mind as well.
Yes, for any feedback that you have, especially when it comes to the holiday calendar, like Rebecca said, we work with HR and they do collaborate with us and let us in on the feedback. And fortunately, this year, there was not really much feedback to put on because of where the holidays fell. Also keep in mind that what we recommend to our HR, we are part of a system, a UT system. So it applies to everybody within that family that we're in. But like I said, if you have an idea, weather day, all of this, the feedback form that Karen has shared in the chat, please do fill that out, or just email us or your designated staff senator and let them know of your suggestions.
And then we had one more. Cheryl said, during the winter break, some departments have skeleton crew. Is this campus-wide or just select departments? That's actually going to be select departments based on your VP. Again, so based on the operation, depending on which division you belong to, your VP may want your entity to be open to serve students. I know strategic enrollment, we were open last winter break because of the turnaround time frame, and I believe we will be processing or following the same protocol this year. But again, that's going to be based on your department and your VP. It's not necessarily campus-wide. Yes. And then let me see if I covered all the comments. I think that's every comment that was answered at that point, Madam President.
I have one last reminder on my end. Okay, so this is a reminder on behalf of the Return to Campus Events Gathering Subcommittee. As you all may know, in-person events are now allowed as of August 23rd. However, just keep in mind that if catering will be provided, it must be grab and go, meaning prepackaged until further notice. So for the latest event guidance, refer to our campus protocols on our coronavirus website. I will drop the link into the chat. And this link should have the latest guidance at all times. So again, if you're looking for the latest guidance, go to this link. Thank you.
And I will call on Nicole just for a quick update on the campus climate results. Thank you to all the staff that showed up. Well, first of all, to take the campus climate survey and then to go and attend the town hall for the results. I thought it was pretty exciting. Nicole, can you speak to us briefly about it?
Yes, just real quick. We have now updated the website, the Campus Climate website. You can reach it with utrgv.edu/campusclimate. And all the results, the PowerPoint presentations that Modern Think created, as well as the recorded town halls are now available on the website. So if you have missed it, there's an employee town hall recorded and the one with the student results. Both of them I highly recommend for you to review and watch them. And we will get started soon to reach out to the departments and work directly with them. So if you have not heard about your department results, that should be happening in the next few weeks.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Awesome. Also, I would like to congratulate our Ms. Rebecca Sepulveda, who is part of the Employee Advisory Council to represent us. And she chairs the Mentoring and Coaching Committee. Am I correct? Yes. Wonderful. Thank you, Rebecca. Anything else? Well, I want to thank everyone for choosing to spend your time to be with us this morning. It is my hope that you learned something new and that you are inspired to take this new knowledge to help you grow and become a better person on and off the workplace. As we go our separate ways, please keep this quote in mind. All progress takes place outside the comfort zone. And it is in that spirit that I dare you to do one thing every day that scares you. Have an amazing rest of the week. Stay connected, stay engaged. See you next month, and always keep your visa up. Ms. Parliamentarian, can you go ahead and adjourn our meeting?
Meeting has been adjourned at 10:33.
Thank you so much, staff senators. I will see you in our closed session. Y'all have a great day.